guys, welcome to All About Calcutta. And in today's episode, I have moved on to a guest from a very different sector. Somewhere, I think I am as far as away up from possible. And if fitness is your cup of tea, then please let's welcome Mr. Ranadeep Moitra.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. If you'll be kind enough to introduce yourself to this camera, like who are you? What do you do? If somebody is watching you for the first time, how would you
Okay,
introduce
so
yourself?
for those who are not familiar with what I do, I'm a strength and conditioning specialist. A strength and conditioning specialist are a very select brand of people who work with athletes, largely with athletes, to improve their performance and their fitness levels and to keep them away from injury. In short, I'm also corrective exercise specialist. Corrective exercise specialist is a brand of exercise coaches who believe that you use exercise as a means to stop or prevent musculoskeletal dysfunctions
Okay.
and therefore pain. I mean, if you look at the setup today, the clinical setup, when people get pain in their bodies, neck pain, back pain, they tend to go to doctors, orthopedic surgeons, not realizing that nothing that the doctor has studied in their medical program has actually qualified them to deal with musculoskeletal pain,
Okay.
unless it's a symptomatic treatment or it needs surgery.
Okay.
For the last 20 or 15 years, whatever, the orthopedic surgeon has only repaired bones, set together ligaments, cut tendons, but that and realizing and understanding the reason for pain from a biomechanical perspective is completely different.
Got it.
So
Understood.
there are people like us who address issues like that.
Okay. So, if I start from the beginning, sir, you said you are a strength and conditioning coach for athletes. So,
Yeah.
like, do you mean athletes in the traditional sense, or like, do you take it in a broader way?
Well, athletes typically refer to sportsmen
Yeah,
and athletes,
yeah.
but however, I feel everybody is an athlete.
Everybody.
Your
Okay.
grandmother is an athlete.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just mindset. The same techniques, the same biomechanical movement that we use to help an athlete pick up and hurl something heavy. It's the same methodology we use to teach a grandmother how to pick up the shopping bag from the floor.
Okay, okay.
Because-
Okay. I never looked at it that way. Like, okay. So basically, I think what you're trying to, correct me if I'm wrong, like what you're trying to say is like any physical movement that is required that puts a strain on your body, you ensure the correct way to do it.
Yeah, why correct? Is there just one way to do it? No.
Okay.
We teach the method that is least likely to cause a pattern overload to your connective tissues,
Okay.
and therefore, and that what might result in pain, we try to prevent it. So say for example, a bad movement around your shoulders or your scapula, say your scapular thoracic relationship or your glenohumeral relationship is poor,
Okay.
you don't have pain,
Uh-huh.
but your movement is poor, that is a red flag that there will be pain. And pain is not the first point. You don't go to a medical practitioner when you've got pain. Pain is the last point.
Okay.
Everything that you've done before that has led to pain. But people don't do anything till they get pain.
Understood, sir. Nice. So, sir, if we move back in time a little bit, and I want to explore your early life a little. So, were you like born and brought up in Kolkata?
I was born and brought up in Calcutta, yes.
And like you did your schooling and everything?
Yeah, everything, yeah.
Everything from here. And so I did a little bit of research about you, how much I could find on the internet. So I found that you tried you wanted to be a cricketer first, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, and I think you went pretty good. Like you played Bengal, and I think you went national also. Am I right?
The under 19, yeah.
The under 19
But then
team, yeah.
when I was about 19, I was diagnosed with a disease, an autoimmune disease called ankylosing spondylitis, which there's no cure for autoimmune disease. You just have to learn to cope with it. But that meant that I would have to give up my sport because the pain and the stiffness very, very debilitating.
Yeah, I read that
Yeah.
you had like swellings in between matches and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, so I had to give up the game,
Uh-huh.
and then I had to do something completely different from sports. I mean, just which I did for a while. For about 10 or 12 years, I worked in a tea broking company.
Okay.
But I refused to accept that that was the way my body was going to go. So I taught myself. I studied up. I taught myself the various aspects of corrective exercise, healing, fitness, so that I was able to live with dignity, and I didn't want my disease to completely ravish me. So that's really the story of why I'm a trainer.
That's wonderful.
never
Like
really
so you
thought-
became
yeah.
a trainer to correct yourself first.
Yeah, I never
and
really
then
thought that I would do this as a profession, that I would actually be doing this
That is-
as a means of livelihood. Never-
Nice. That is
never thought.
really interesting. So what was your like when you wanted to join cricket and you wanted to become a cricketer? Was your family supportive enough?
Hugely, I was brought up to be a cricketer.
Oh, you were brought up. So like was
Yeah.
sports in the family?
Absolutely, yeah.
Your
Sports,
dad was
everybody, yeah. Sports. In my family, sports, music.
Uh-huh.
It's a very, very eclectic kind of family where sports, music, dance, art was given much more importance.
Oh, nice. That is so
than
good.
academics.
Me coming from a Marwadi background, I seriously don't relate to
Yeah,
this part.
academics just
Like,
happened.
yeah. Oh,
And I don't ever remember my parents ever telling me, like good Bengali parents, ki porte bosho. Or I don't even, my daughter, if me and my wife ever actually told her, "Come, sit down and study." Those things just happen. They're meant to happen. If you're brought up naturally, you will just take to academics like that.
Okay, that is a really nice, interesting point of view. I think most of the people won't relate to this because we are always, from like, obviously we come from a very different time, and I am a generation from right now. But I feel my parents have always, like any traditional parents, they have focused on academics so much that I feel from my life, sports was never there. Like even in school life, it was there, like jitna ek, like childhood mein hota hai. But like you as a career option, it was never explored or evaluated. Do you think that's a problem point, or it's okay?
It is a
happens?
problem.
It
It's a
is.
problem. We're never going to become a top sporting nation in the world unless you change this kind of thinking.
So,
Yeah.
is there a piece of advice you would like to give to the parents?
Parents, yes,
today?
the minute they start making an excuse for their children, oh, if you do this, your studies may suffer, or if you concentrate on sports, your studies may suffer, or if you concentrate so much on music, you may not be able to do so well in studies. Gives the child the excuse they learn early in life that if I'm good at something else, that means it's okay to be bad in studies. It's not.
Okay.
It comes out of the parents' head. Is not. You're expected to manage your academics or anything else that you are, like extracurricular activity or sport, equally well.
Oh,
You're
okay,
expected
okay.
to do that. But it's when the parents start create the little room that, if you do this, this might happen. Children start believing, yeah, there is a possibility that I may not have enough. There's enough time to do both.
Get it. Yeah,
There's
that's
enough time to do
Yeah,
both.
that's a very interesting point of view. Like I always thought of it, as either this or that.
It's never
But
either
you
this
put it like, both are important.
Yeah, if you bring up a child to believe both are important, they'll believe both are important. It's the parents who start questioning these aspects. Yeah.
Sorry. Nice. So, moving on, sir, like, would you like to talk a little bit about your cricket career? How was that like? And do you still, like, given the opportunity, would you still become one today?
Oh yeah, of course.
Like, the love for cricket is still there.
Love for cricket is there. Very much.
Did you watch the
Not-
match last night?
Not that cricket.
Okay, not that.
Not that cricket. Real cricket. No, I mean, jokes aside. I watched it for a while, and yeah, enjoyed it quite a bit because it wasn't a high-scoring match. Somehow, people tend to believe that a good cricket match is where lots of sixes are being hit and lots of runs are being scored. That's not so. You know,
Okay.
if say if you score 6 or 7 runs per over and 8 runs per over, you end up with about 140 or 150 in a 20 over game,
Yeah.
and that's a lot. That chasing a 150 or 140 should be a daunting task, not
Yeah,
a gimme,
अभी तो
not
सर
a gimme.
IPL में like
Nah,
people
that's
are
because
chasing 250,
because
260
IPL you're
easy.
spoiled. You're given wickets. You're pampered with wickets. Cricket is not played on wickets like that. Cricket should be played on wickets that are favorable to batsmen and bowlers, 50-50. So the minute the wickets in what I saw yesterday, there was nothing wrong with it. It was a sporting wicket. It had life in it.
Yeah.
And you learn to cope. But the batsmen are so spoiled that anytime they have to struggle, the wicket's not good. So in many ways, it's quite enjoyable to see low-scoring matches.
Nice.
So you need skill to survive. To score a 40 or a 50 there in a 20-over match should be a struggle.
Okay.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to score 100 or 120, 130.
Nice.
You shouldn't be able to.
Nice. So, if we move on to a little bit about regional cricket, like when you played for Bengal, so is it any different from the? Now, I'm sure it is in a lot of ways, but what is your experience?
Oh, the
over
opportunities at a regional, beg your pardon, at a regional level have got much better.
Much better
There's
now?
more money, there's more infrastructure, and there's more exposure. There are more matches. At a state level, you're playing national level matches very early in your life.
Okay.
With a lot of exposure, you've got good conditions, good grounds, good living conditions, good hotels to stay in. You're traveling well. You're flying all the time. The match referees, supervisors to ensure that the conditions are good. So it's come a long way.
Yeah.
And
so was it like this back then also?
No, it wasn't.
No. So I wanted to know about that part. Like how
in
was
that
it
way,
different?
the money that has come into sport, thanks to maybe IPL.
Okay.
That the good thing about it is that it's filtered down right to the bottom,
Ah.
and the club cricketer, the state level cricketer, he has benefited greatly, even at a junior level.
Understood.
I mean, every junior match now you got a videographer, and it's far more professional.
Nice. Very interesting.
So
Okay, so this was about cricket. Now, when we travel from your cricket journey to your fitness journey, so like you mentioned that you got diagnosed with an autoimmune disease and that hampered your entire career, and then you switched to something else for quite some time. If I'm not wrong, from what I remember, I read it was the period after 92.
I gave up in 91. Yes.
Yeah.
From 91 to about 2001, 2002 or 3. I was working in the tea industry
Okay.
as a marketing executive with a tea company,
Okay.
and that's what I was doing.
So
but
you were in Kolkata?
I was in Kolkata.
Working in
for a
Kolkata,
while.
right?
For a while, I was 7 years. I was outside.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
I was studying up. About physical sciences, about clinical sciences, about therapy, just on my own.
Okay. So this was your
As
like
a hobby.
as a hobby
for
apart
myself.
from
First a hobby, then a quasi hobby.
Okay.
Then-
So did your disease like hamper your daily routine also?
hell of
or-
a lot, yeah.
A lot?
A lot. I mean, if I can wear my socks and I can wear my own shoe. It's a good day.
Oh, okay. It was that bad.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
is that
realize.
It's worse.
Okay. Okay. Just a sec. I was under the assumption that now it is not there anymore. But it's
No,
still,
autoimmune disease. don't just
autoimmune
go away.
diseases don't
They
go up.
away. There's no cure. So you learn to
Wait,
cope with it.
so you are telling me you maintain this fitness with that?
Yeah, I don't maintain. It's gone down all the way. But so if you have an autoimmune disease and it goes down like this, all I've managed to do is allow it to go down like this.
Okay, so you just corrected the slope and made it slower.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
wait, how is someone able to pull this off?
Because I haven't been born with good health, I value it. Those who have been born with good health take it for granted.
Yeah, that is
they don't
true.
give
That
a
I think I will put myself in that
That's
category.
the
Yeah,
because if you have to struggle to get something it's like because India never had to fight for their freedom.
Yeah.
There was no war. So sometimes you don't value our freedom. If you get your freedom easily, you don't value it.
true,
Right?
true.
So therefore, because I had to fight for my health, I value it. I have to fight to live tomorrow. And if I don't do some things today, there will be no tomorrow. So I value it.
Okay, damn. Okay, this has come as a shocker to me now. Is everything okay, bro?
Yes, all good.
Huh?
All good.
Okay, cool. This is something so I thought that disease was over. I didn't know that it still persists. So you are almost double my age, more than double probably, and you are way more fitter than I am, and with a disease that you cannot cure. I'm not sure I can even begin to understand what it's like.
Yeah, it's when God has been.
So, like, where does this will come from? Like, because this is a very personal question to me, sir. I think willpower is something that I struggle with a lot, and I think you might have the key to that.
We all struggle with willpower. We all do. It's not, it's
Okay.
not that day in and day out. I say, okay, I'm motivated, and we all go through bad phases. You have to pick yourself up. In fact, this disease gives you a lot of depression. Because autoimmune, not this, any autoimmune disease, because there's no silver lining at the end of, you're not going to get well. You just have to
Yeah.
learn to cope better.
Yeah, cope it, and
So
all you
it's-
can do is
yeah.
probably hope to slow it down. That's it.
Yeah,
So
and
it's like,
it gets you down. But
oh man.
a part of it is that I'm a bit of a happy-go-lucky guy as well. So that
Okay.
attitude helps.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we all have to learn to survive. What other way? What other way is there? You are responsible for your tomorrow. You got to do your best.
That is true. That is very true. That is true. Me personally, I'm a workaholic. So like every time if I'm awake, I'm working.
Okay.
So that's what my routine is like. But thankfully, to my work, I get a little bit of. Thankfully, due to my work, I get a little bit of physical movement, like shooting, carrying equipment, and stuff like that. But I wish I had something like a willpower like you to maintain my fitness also. It's been very difficult for me, honestly.
God forbid, there will come a time when you'll struggle with this work.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
struggle.
I'm
But if you're
sure.
fitter, if you're strong, you will just cope with it, and your efficiency at work will increase. Um, we play golf and in this heat. Sometimes the only reason why I'm able to finish 18 holes, forget about the quality, how well I've played. The only reason that I'm able to finish 18 holes is your fitness.
Yeah, definitely.
I know. Or anything that you do. I don't play golf for a living, but I'm sure if it's hot and it's weather like this and you have assignments, it's difficult. If you're an outdoor assignment today in the afternoon,
Yeah, definitely.
it's difficult. But if
yeah,
you're
I'll
fitter,
try 100% to avoid it.
Yeah.
I'll do anything to do that. I'll be honest.
but if it's a job, you gotta
Yeah,
do
but
it.
and if I'm fitter, obviously it'll be much easier for me. Apart from fitness and sports, like what do you love to do? What do you enjoy? What's your life like?
Music, books,
Music and books.
music and books. Yeah, music, books.
Who's your favorite current artist? You listen.
Oh, that's another thing. In music, I tend to get very fixated to my. I don't go out and discover new artists.
Uh-huh.
I have so much to go back to.
Oh,
that
so
I
you don't listen
yeah,
to
but
artists.
some of the new stuff I like, but there's so much of there. Some of the older artists churning out. So I've stuck to the genre that I like. I haven't
Okay.
gone
So,
beyond the genre.
which is the genre?
If you look at so Indian,
Uh-huh.
I like all the old Hindi
Okay.
movie stuff.
Okay.
Like
Like
the
Kishore
Asha
Kumar
Bhosle,
and
Kishore
okay,
Kumar, the
yeah.
Rafis and
Okay,
all
okay.
that.
Uh-huh.
Then I like Indian classical music.
Uh-huh.
I like ghazals a lot.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so that genre. Then, and if you're talking about English, I like jazz and funk a lot.
Nice.
I really like funk or blues.
Ah.
That's my reggae.
Okay,
So
okay.
very very black, very modern
Okay.
sound. So I love funk. Right now, I listen to a lot of funk.
Ah,
Even
nice.
bordering on a little of disco.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
But
like
it keeps
the late
changing.
70s, 80s disco type.
Yeah,
music.
but some of the new, they call it neo funk. I just
Ah,
discovered a
okay.
new sound called the neo funk, the new artists, because funk is so much like R&B, and some of it's got rap in the background, but they've got these little saxophone and
nice.
deep bass guitar
Do you
playing.
like rap? Have you tried?
I don't mind rap, but I need that funky back, that
Okay,
real
so,
heavy saxophone or deep, the deep overtone at the back.
Got it. No, but like if you were to talk about pure hip hop, like are you no,
No,
not your cup of tea.
yeah, the background has to be R&B funky. I listen to.
Okay, nice. I've been exploring Mozart very recently.
All right.
So like since childhood, I've heard about Beethoven and Mozart. Beethoven, like you know,
Yeah.
one of the greatest. But I think it's the past month when I've discovered
Oh,
that you
lovely.
know the
Yeah.
why they are the legends.
So, what do you like? You like the violin or the
I right now I'm hooked on to Mozart's clarinet piece.
clarinet?
Clarinet, there is a clarinet symphony in A major,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's like constant on my loop right now. It's so beautiful. It's so
You-
calming.
you'll,
It
uh,
helps me sleep a lot.
There's some great stuff. You should listen to the horn as well. Mozart, the horn concertos are very famous.
Okay, is it? Okay, I'll take your
And there's some great-
suggestion.
yeah.
Okay, so I just started. You know, I just went to Apple Music and you know search Mozart, and
Mozart
there's
is
a
very
playlist.
easy for it's a great first time for people who are just getting their ears used to in Western classical music.
okay.
Mozart is very easy. Bach is very easy.
Ha,
Easy.
I think I'll have to.
Chopin is
Bach.
very easy.
Nice.
Beethoven is it's a bit, but
Okay.
these are very. But the romantics are very
Uh-huh.
easy on the ears.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's why I liked Mozart more.
Yeah, you like
probably.
Bach as well. You like Chopin.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you like,
I'll give it
then
a
if you
shot.
like waltz, then you like Tchaikovsky.
Nice.
But it's a good point to start. Mozart is a very nice point to start.
What about food, sir? Do you like to eat out?
Love.
You love it. So, like, I'm assuming you have a very strict diet. Is it?
You're
true?
assuming, yes.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Yeah. No, I don't.
No, nothing like that. So it's only workouts and eat whatever you want. Like, is it like that?
I'm lucky that I'm not very fond of. If I was given, the favorite food,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like junk food. It's not
Okay.
that I keep away from junk food. I wouldn't like a junk food.
Okay.
But for example, if you somebody said, "Do you want to have chicken butter masala?" Doesn't sound very appetizing. But you say, "Do you want to have a leg of a ran of a lamb, mutton?" I say yes.
Nice. Okay.
So
So
but
fortunately, the food you like is not very bad.
most of it is not disastrous. I mean, we all love ice creams and chocolates and stuff to an extent, but most of the food I love eating is not
So
disastrous.
do you also like the rest of us go for midnight cravings?
I'm sleeping at midnight. I can't even get up. I don't have a midnight.
Okay, so you are like out by
No,
what
no
time?
chance. I'm out by like yesterday was an India-Pakistan match, so I was awake till 11.
Okay. Else on a normal day?
10:30 late.
10:30.
I'm up.
You're up.
Sometimes 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
I'm up at 5
So-
o'clock in the morning. So it's,
Oh, okay. So like your training starts at 5. When do you train?
if I'm not lazy, I'll train now.
Okay.
12 o'clock usually.
Okay.
After my morning work is done.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah.
I understood.
So 3 days a week, I'll play golf in the afternoon. No.
Got it. So, if going back to work again, while working for the tea brand, you read about as a hobby, you know, you got into fitness, started reading about fitness books, and started working on yourself. So, it was personal back then, right? You were doing it for yourself. What was the point of time when it from personal to professional? Ka shift?
Oh, for that, there's one man, Sourav Ganguly.
Oh, okay.
So it's Sourav who actually put the thought in my brain that, hey, listen, you can do this for a living. So we happened to have I knew him from cricket.
Mm-hmm.
We happened to have met, and I came back to Calcutta in 2001. From 1996 to 2001, I wasn't here.
Okay.
And I came back and just happened to, around 2003, just around where the Cricket World Cup was in South Africa, and Sourav
Okay.
was the captain. We happened to meet in the gym, and we interacted over the next few days.
Hmm.
And the Indian cricket team was having a camp in Bangalore.
Okay.
And I said, do you want to come for the camp? I said, why? I said, do you want to train the Indian cricket team? I said, you can't be serious.
Oh, nice.
And he said, listen, I've trained with the best in the world, so I am serious. So that set the ball rolling. So
Oh.
the reason why I am an SNC coach today is because of really Sourav who set the ball rolling. It's because of him that I believed that I was good enough to do this.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And then, one thing, I trained with the Indian cricket team, the Indian A team. And then I came back and worked with the Bengal cricket team for a while. Then I got a break in football. I trained the Kingfishers Bengal team, and then got into football, the Indian Football Academy. Then I got an offer from the Indian golf team, and then I was, rolling.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, I think golf in 2010 with the Beijing Asian Games.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's when I started with golf, and then yeah,
So right now you're working majorly with the golf team?
I've done that. I've
Okay.
gone the whole circle. Now I don't work outside at all.
Oh, okay. So now you don't do
Yeah,
it
I've done
anymore.
10 years. I worked with golf.
Ah.
By 8 years, um, ish, 2010, 14, 18. Yeah, 8 years.
Okay.
There's 3 Asian Games.
Ah, okay, okay, understood. So, like, I want to divert a little bit to talk about Sourav Ganguly. So, when Sourav Ganguly, when Dada was at his peak, I was fairly young. So, I'm a 96 born kid. So,
96 was when he made his debut.
yeah, exactly. So I was, but when he was at his peak, I was fairly young. I just remember the name and I hear about his legendary stories all the time. I've read about it him obviously, and I've sometimes gone and watched back the highlights of the games when people talk about that he was probably one of the best captains the country ever got. As a personal experience, would you like to share something about him? What do you think is his most golden quality? I'm sure there's
He had a
list.
lot of golden qualities, but what one that stood out among many things. I mean, many things stood out, but
Of
then
course.
the one that
But
comes
what
to mind
stood out to
straight away,
you?
in the context of what happened in the last few days, he was a fantastic reader of wickets. In the sense that he could walk on, and in 10 or 15 minutes, yesterday, for example, what was the score that you had to put on the board? Nobody knows,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you think, oh, I need to put on 180 or 200, and then end up, and they said, oh shucks, I made a wrong choice. Then they end up getting 115 all out, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody knows what is a good target to set. Saurav would get there right in 15 minutes time. You would actually say, sorry guys, I don't think in this wicket you can score 300. Let's play for 250, 270. If you make it about 282, we win the match. So that was a quality he had which stood out more than anybody else. I haven't seen somebody who could assess wickets and put a number on that as well as Saurav did.
That is nice. That is really
And
interesting.
that's then you have a roadmap.
Yeah, man, that's a skill.
And then
like,
you would say, and people would think that, listen, how much should you put on the board? Nobody knows.
yeah,
And
man,
so you think you haven't got enough, you try to go for too many, and you then end up with too less, and you've lost the match. And he said, listen, if you had just patiently batted and got maybe X amount on the board, we would have won the match. We just went for an unrealistic total and ended up with egg.
nice. My dad is very passionate about cricket. I am honestly not a huge fan, but my dad used to. I remember, like when I started understanding things, I grew up a little, and I used to hear about Sourav Ganguly and stuff. So my dad used to say that he was the one captain who brought in the hunger for winning
Yeah.
to the Indian cricket team. I remember this very vividly, that this, I think that is the statement I personally relate most to Sourav Ganguly, that the drive to win is where he came in.
Yeah, he wasn't scared to lose.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's good. So after you worked with the golf team for 8 years, so after that I think Endorphins came.
No,
in.
endorphins has started coming side by side. And then I realized
Oh,
if I
okay.
didn't spend time here, then this business would not do well.
Okay.
And I'd financially committed.
Mm-hmm.
So it was become a business then. And it wasn't just a hobby, and then I wasn't a trainer. I was a business owner,
Yeah, obviously.
and therefore I had to concentrate more and in this setup.
So, what was the thought process behind starting Endorphins, your gym chain? Like, what do you think makes it stand
There wasn't
out?
much of a thought. It just flowed. One thing just like flowed from the other. It wasn't planned.
Oh, it
I
just
just
happened.
started with a small little studio with about 6 or 7 people because I wanted to train them, and then the numbers grew. Then the place became bigger, and then it became bigger, and then it became a gym. It wasn't. It just had happened.
Oh, nice. I thought I was expecting of a
No,
more
it
that,
wasn't. It wasn't a
dedicated.
dream. It was never my dream to have 3 gyms and convert the 3 and then make 5 gyms or 10 gyms. It never was part of my ambition. It just whatever happened just happened as a step. Maybe it was the logical step, but it wasn't so well planned out.
Okay.
It happened, So
Understood. So, like if I may, I don't know, but what is the future of endorphins then? Like if it's you're not, like you said, you're not seeing it as, I don't want to expand and make it into 5 or 10 gyms, then like where are we going with this? What is your plan with this? I want to know. Like, have you thought about it, or you're just going with the flow?
No, I would. There is enough future, but
Uh-huh.
it's. I would want it to the three gyms that we have.
Uh-huh.
I want these three to stand out as a haven of professional expertise, rather
Okay.
than just a crowd,
Yeah,
rather than
yeah,
what's
yeah.
happening outside.
Yeah.
And I want these to stand out, and just as standalone gyms that stands up for quality within the industry.
What is do you think, is the worst part, do you think, that that so from a fitness trainer, you were doing something you you enjoyed doing, and you pursued it as your hobby first and then your profession. So this is something you enjoyed, but then you became a business owner. So I'm sure there were times when you had to sacrifice something just to make sure that happened, the business aspect of it happened. Is there something that stands out in mind,
No,
moment?
I wouldn't have to make too many compromises. I think that's one thing that stands out, that people, we still stand very much for the principles, that the vision is still very much the same.
Oh,
What you
nice. You
want to,
never had to.
yeah.
So not even like personally that you
No,
were like, I wanted to go train that, but I cannot because I'm a gym owner now. Something like
no,
that.
nothing like that. Yeah,
Never.
no, yeah. We've upheld things that we stand for, that we're anal about. We've stood by that. We've never made any compromise, or let's say we've never turned commercial just to
Huh.
ensure that the business grows.
Yeah. That's where I was getting
No,
into. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice because endorphins, anyhow, right now it stands out. It
Yeah,
stands
because
out like
yes,
probably the best and the most
because
expert way.
we are not into bodybuilding, we are not into weight loss.
Yeah.
We are here as a corrective access to help you move better and live a better quality of life. Ensure that when you're older, the typical problems of old age you don't have to face. People come and tell us that all the time. Oh, listen, I went for trekking, and the last time I went, I had so many problems. But I was trained 6 months here, and I just sailed through it. And that's our biggest compliment. That really, warms the cockles of our heart. That this is why we get to work every day, to make other people's lives better, to
Nice.
touch their lives in a way that is. They realize that how much better I am because of the movement, and we believe movement is medicine. How much better I am because of this medicine.
Nice. That's really nice. So yeah, this is done. What else do we talk about?
Ayush,
Ayush, we talk about Ayush.
No, let's talk about problems Sir sees about athletes, So
Yeah.
what problems
What do you
see?
think is the scenario with the current athletes, and do you think they should, this is an area they should focus more, but they're not?
I, the problem is one is cricket,
Mm-hmm.
which is really getting a lot of attention, that gets a lot of money, and there are other sports that are falling way behind in the quality of SNC coaches, the quality of athletic trainers. The problem is India is a country where you can't study sports science as a degree in graduation or post graduation. So
Okay.
where are the qualified trainers going to come from? Which means they have to go abroad and study sports science or study exercise science. If somebody spends that kind of money studying exercise science abroad, he or she is not going to come back to work in the country,
True. Very true.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
therefore, we are getting the quality of coaches working with athletes is poor.
Okay.
So now the NSCA, that's the National Strength and Conditioning Association of America, has an India chapter.
Okay.
So I'm part of. I do. I'm trying to align myself with that because I became 25 years back or whatever. I became India's first CSCS, that's the strength and conditioning specialist under this organization.
Okay.
So this is a real gold standard in SNC all over the world.
Got it.
But how many? We've got about 200 SNC coaches in
In a
such a
country
big
this
country.
big, yeah.
the quality fitness education at a grassroots level is lacking. And therefore, Indian athletes are not getting top quality fitness, top quality strength and conditioning advice until it gets too late. So once they become an Olympic prospect or or well-established national level athlete, they have access to this kind of information.
Okay, which they should have
which
had
they should have
like
had
since
earlier.
day one.
Right.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised to know that even in cricket, which is so spoiled, which is so, full of funds, have got very, very poor quality fitness trainers at a grassroots level.
Okay, that sounds like a major
So,
problem.
like you
for
say, the more things change, the more they remain the same.
Yeah, I get it. So this is a problem. What do you think is the solution for this? Like the government has to
Education.
Education.
The government will not do it. So, but private education is slowly coming, and people, it's difficult because, today there are so many fitness, the demand for fitness is so big that very ordinary people are being hired as fitness trainers.
That is
they are making money, and therefore they don't want to invest in education because it's so easy to get jobs as a fitness trainer. So there's so many people
Yeah,
pretending
most
to
of
be,
the people are like they're just
pretending to be
giving
trained.
services over Instagram, and I'll become your
and
PT.
the average public is so unaware
Yeah.
about this that they don't know how to differentiate between good quality training and poor quality training. So anything that looks flashy in their eyes it just stands for good
Okay.
training. And what's happening in people's lifestyle is so poor, they're so unfit, they're so overweight that they're desperate to just go to anyone who promises them that you're going to lose weight.
Very true. Very
Oh,
true.
yeah.
So this what you talked about right now is a problem from the infrastructure point of view, right? So the like you said, the good trainers, the number of good trainers are not enough for a country this big for the athletes over here.
And the other thing that's happening, athletes are not growing up in a natural environment the way we did 20, 50 years back,
Okay.
right? So far too many of them are a result of an academy growth. So they're a product of the academy.
Okay.
They haven't learned to play sport or learned to welcome natural movement from the environment and surrounding around them, from the park next door,
Understood. Yeah.
right? From the pond which they learn to swim, from the tree that they learn to climb. They don't learn
They don't do that.
naturally.
Yeah.
They're very academy oriented. So therefore, these shortcomings in the movement and dysfunction stay with them, and too many of them are getting very early into early specialization. So they are only playing one sport, and when they play just one sport, the body lacks the versatility that comes with playing several sports.
Got it. So
It's a big problem in today's with athletic kids today.
Understood. So, like, if there's one point of advice you'd like to give to upcoming athletes to fix this problem, what would it be? Like, is it just to play multiple sports?
At least 2 sports, and then have some kind of physical discipline. It could be yoga, it could be gymnastic, it could be calisthenics, right? Early in life. So my dad put me into gymnastics when I was 6 years old,
Oh, okay.
right? And that probably saved my life. I was diagnosed with disease maybe 15 years later,
Yeah.
or 12 years later. But this culture that he imbibed in me finally helped me to save my life. And that's why I say train for life. You don't know what life will throw. God forbid if I get cancer today, I don't know whether I will survive it, but I will have a better chance of fighting it than
Definitely.
the others.
Definitely. Yeah.
Just because of my physical prowess. Or
Yeah.
that's the thing. So you train for life. And sometimes people come and ask me, they tell me, I need, these are my goals and this is why I need to train. I said, no, you don't know what your goals are because you don't know what your tomorrow is like. You're training for the unforeseen contingencies that tomorrow can throw. And you're not aware of that. You're getting your body ready for that. What?
Very true.
What you don't know. You don't know what tomorrow's going to be like.
Yeah. For someone, if we talk about someone outside of being an athlete, an everyday person whose life is not prioritized around sports, if I may, Do you have a piece of advice for them? Like, how do you think a small thing that they can do that can better their outcome, except a rigorous training? Or
I always say there are 4 doctors that should be there in your life.
Okay.
That's all the doctors you need. Doctor diet. Everybody can eat well, irrespective of what they do. Doctor quiet, which is your meditation, your music, your books,
okay,
your silence, just going out for a walk, looking, enjoying the stars. That's Doctor Quiet. Doctor Movement. Yeah, and actually, Doctor Movement is last. You have Doctor Quiet, Doctor Diet, and Doctor Happiness.
okay,
Yeah, being happy, learning to be happy with whatever you've got, valuing whatever you've got, being in a happy frame of mind. So you got 3 things in place, and then you get Doctor Movement in, and you don't need any other doctor in your life.
nice. That is so beautiful. That is very nicely put. I think this is what shows your years of experience. One more thing I would want to know. So, like you mentioned a little bit earlier that anybody and everybody is becoming a fitness coach right now, and it's very easy to sell their services, especially after the pandemic. So,
You're right, especially after the
yeah,
pandemic.
like I keep seeing it, everywhere on Instagram that be fit in 30 days and stuff
And
like that.
you don't know
Yeah.
what are the credentials to look for.
Exactly.
So they have
This-
some weird
Yeah.
certification, blah blah blah.
This
come to
is
me.
what I wanted to
Yeah,
come to. Like,
definitely. Yeah.
how does a normal person
You don't.
who does not know anything about this
No.
identify the right person from the wrong person?
You don't.
We don't identify.
You don't know,
it's
because
just a
if
gamble.
somebody tells me I come from University Malapani, I know, no, I heard of Manipal, I haven't heard of Malapani. Right, but you don't know that in fact.
Yeah.
What stands for what are the real, what are the gold standard in credentials? The normal person is not aware.
Yeah, so like, can you make them aware? Like, what if I am supposed to choose a trainer tomorrow? What am I supposed to look for when I'm choosing a trainer?
You look at his credential, but you don't know what. So typically, there are 2 institutions in the world. Look, the ACE,
Okay.
the American Council on Exercise, is the one leading.
Okay.
Then you have, but you can't remember all this. The National Strength and it's difficult for you.
So it's just a gamble for the
You
rest
just
of
have
us.
to look. You have to know when you're choosing a trainer. You will ask him, "Do you have any body of work? Have you written anything in public space?
Okay.
Do you have any body of work that you've put in your public space? What is your philosophy of training?" Don't ask him about training, but ask him what is your philosophy of training. Where do you want? Like I just said, what is your philosophy of training? My philosophy of training is to prepare you for life's unforeseen contingencies. The minute you find that the trainer is speaking in language which extends beyond his textbooks, you know that this is the right guy for me.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got to talk to him about life outside gym
Understood.
and understand with his mentality, with the mindset, his viewpoint matches with yours or not.
Okay.
The exercise part comes later.
Okay.
Because if that doesn't say right, what does he want out of me? If his priority is, you, I think you need the chest muscles. Wrong guy, man.
Yeah.
Wrong person. I think you need to work on your calf. Senseless.
Understood.
What is his philosophy?
Understood.
जो कहते हैं ना फलसफा क्या है?
हाँ, समझा. So, we'll be coming close to a wrap up now. Just a couple of more questions. Do you, I don't know, I'm just asking, would you like to talk about politics and religion?
Yeah. Why
sure.
not? If I don't want to talk about politics, means I don't care what happens to my society.
Yeah, a lot of people are uncomfortable, so I just don't mind asking this question.
I don't know why people are uncomfortable about politics. You have no right to be uncomfortable
because
about
of
politics.
the current scenario and how
All the
hostile
more reason.
it's
All the
made.
more reason.
All the more.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for agreeing.
Yeah.
All the more reason we should
I
talk
think what's
about
happening
it.
in India is that you have an autocratic person at the top who's encouraging divisiveness, who's using religion, who's using caste. It's dangerous. It's shameful.
That's so nice to meet someone so bold to speak about this on camera after such a long
This
time.
is not the way, and who has even the gall to suggest that nobody knew about Gandhiji.
Huh.
I mean, who the hell does he think he is?
True, so true, sir, so true. matlab,
And he must
this
tell the
is-
he must tell the world and the nation about Gandhiji.
What do you think about the last elections?
About the last
Yeah,
election.
yeah, the
I think
results.
it's a huge. It's a Indian democracy has surprised me.
Yeah, same.
I mean, we tend to look down.
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's-
I
and it's-
was
it's
very
brilliant.
depressed
It's
before it.
restored my faith in the people.
Exactly. It has just restored faith
Yeah.
and brought a new wave of optimism, if I may say.
Absolutely.
It's so refreshing
That
to
you can't
see
fool
that
people. You
exactly.
can't fool all the people all the time.
They can you can only fool them for a certain amount of time. After a time, your lies are being seen
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
That is so nice. That is so nice. Oh, sir. I am so happy to meet you.
Why?
Sir,
If
this
you're,
is very rare.
if you're a human being, you will feel that way.
No, Ari sir, you don't understand. It is so rare to find people who are willing to talk about it on cameras these days. They don't. They are scared of, if nothing else, I'm telling you, they are scared of being bashed on social media. Like, bro, why are you caring about that?
Is that even
I've
important?
cut out so many
Is
sections
life
of
in
my
social media-
conversations just because of these, because
I
they're
don't
not,
care. If you
comfortable.
don't have a viewpoint on what is happening to your society,
Exactly.
you don't have a right to belong.
Exactly. Like, if you will not talk, who else will?
Exactly.
Each and everyone has to have the right to put their point of view. You agree with me or not does not matter. I didn't shake your hand because I share your viewpoint. I shook your
You have
hand
every
because
right to.
you.
I have friends.
Yeah.
Who are completely right wing, who are bhakts. I leave it. That's
Exactly. I have family who are right wing. Doesn't mean I don't get along with them. But the point is, they let me keep my viewpoint.
No,
and
I
do the
want
same.
to. I want to. I don't have anything in the party BJP. In fact, I admire Atal Bihari Vajpayee. I'm a huge fan of him, and he was a fantastic gentleman and a great human being. And I don't mind going on record saying that my admiration for Atal Bihari Vajpayee is huge, but I don't think he envisaged the way the BJP is going today. I don't think this is his style.
Nice.
I don't think this would have happened if Atalji was at the helm of affairs. That's what I mean.
What are your I don't know, life goals anymore left to achieve?
Oh.
I'm sure it's a weird question.
I've never been a goal-oriented person.
Never no planning, nothing that I have to.
I never ever made this is my goal that this should happen.
Okay, sir. I'm sorry. I'm going to stretch it a little longer because I really want to understand this point of view. You're not the first one I have met who has this kind of mindset, but I am the literal opposite. I go into as meticulous planning as possible.
So do I. I believe in the process.
Yeah, but
I
you
get up
have
in the
to set a
morning-
goal to make a plan,
Not
right? No?
really. People say that. I get up. I have no hand.
Mm-hmm.
I have no hand in that. All I have hand is do what I'm doing right now.
Uh-huh.
Do it to the best of my abilities.
No,
And everything adds up. But I don't want to think far ahead. If I'm playing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thinking of I have to make a century. No. I have to meet this ball and then the next ball and the next ball. But at that point, all that matters is that ball.
Yeah,
And
I
that
get
shot.
that. I get that point, but won't you have to strategize your game if you want to make a century?
No.
Or just playing one ball at a time will make
One
you
ball
reach
at a
the...
time. One ball at a time. One day at a time.
This is very hard for me to digest. I don't know. I
I
maybe
don't
it's
even
my
look
just
ahead.
my OCD
I don't
or
look
something.
ahead at all.
Okay.
I don't know what tomorrow. Like I said, I don't know what tomorrow is going to be like.
I honestly,
In
sir,
everything. In
personally,
everything.
I get panic attacks if things are not going to
Yeah,
according
yeah.
to my plan. Like
कल
I
किसने
am
देखा?
such a control
कल
freak.
किसने देखा?
हाँ, but मुझे control करना.
कंट्रोल आज का इस वक्त इस कंट्रोल दिस मोमेंट.
True.
You have no control over tomorrow.
Very true, but
I'm no good. Never had any goals. Everything in my life that happened has happened contrary to planning.
what about family life, sir? How's your family life like?
My family, me, my wife, and my daughter. She's 28 years old. She works for the UN.
Okay.
She's based in Geneva.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's my family. My parents are not alive. I have an elder brother who stays in Calcutta.
Mm-hmm.
That's small.
so like these are the people in your family, but like what is the chemistry between you guys? Like I'm sure you guys are close, but what I want to know is, do they share the same enthusiasm for fitness? Like
Yeah.
is it been infected?
In fact, my wife is now going to. She's a qualitative market researcher. She's
Okay.
put her job and everything on hold because she wants to. She wants to qualify as a fitness. She's doing two
Oh.
courses. One is senior population. She wants to help older people
Older
live
people.
better lives, because in India
Okay.
we see a lot of people
Yeah,
come
yeah,
so
yeah,
many
yeah.
problems.
Very
And there's a course that you can do. She's studying that course now
Ah, nice. That's very nice.
on better. mm, Abroad is a big thing because people live
Uh-huh.
alone and they go
Mm-hmm.
in. The government spends a lot of fun on senior fitness, but here you don't.
Yeah.
So in fact, what we are planning to, because for retired people,
Mm-hmm.
senior pop, we also want to have a special rate so that they can come into the gym. And,
Nice, nice. That's really beautiful. Okay, sir. I think we can close it over here. You are also busy. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a fun chat. I got to know a lot about the world of fitness that I didn't. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys like this episode, and please follow Ranadeep sir. I'll share his social media and links down in the description. Thank you so much, sir.